Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel Not Just IELTS. Today's lesson is about one of my favorite topics, that is lexical resource, which is all about the range of our vocabulary and how accurate the choice of our words is. I'd like to dedicate this video to my school teachers who helped me to inculcate this habit of learning new words and their usages. When it comes to IELTS, there are a number of ways using which we can showcase our vocabulary. First of them is paraphrasing, then comes usage of synonyms, then the third one is using collocations. Let me tell you my strategy for this assessment criterion. I usually spend about 4 to 5 minutes of my time to prepare for the ideas and the words that I intend to use in an essay. Let's look at an example for more details. I am referring to one of the questions which we had discussed in the previous videos. The question is, explain some of the ways in which humans are damaging the environment. What can governments do to address these problems? What can individual people do? Now let us go through the first sentence of this question statement. Explain some of the ways in which humans are damaging the environment. For your understanding, I have highlighted the keywords of which we want to find out synonyms. For example, let's look at ways. Ways can be reworded as factors involved, practices, malpractices, or threats. Threats is not a direct synonym of the word ways, but since we are referring to the damage, hence threat seems to be the right word in this context. Then comes the word humans. Humans we can refer as mankind, humankind, human beings, or human race. Then comes the word damaging. I've used the word damage. If you see, it's just the same word, I've just changed the form of this word. From the ing form, the continuous form, I've just used the word damage. Destroying, causing harm. Now these are few alternatives I can use for the word damaging. Finally, we have the word environment, for which I have used the words natural surroundings, earth, nature, or nature's creation. With this small exercise, we have found out 3 to 4 different substitutes for the highlighted words. After this exercise, when I think I have found a sufficient number of words, I can simply use them in my essay without repeating any of the words. This shows to the examiner that I am capable enough of using different synonyms or collocations of various words. Now you may ask, but how should we build up this word bank? For this, first of all, we should focus on the current vocabulary that we already have. We must ensure that we use the correct spellings of all the words that we use. There are many words with which we can go wrong. Let us have a look at such confusing words. Some of the words which I have jotted down are weak, weak, idle, ideal and idle, accept, accept, access, excess, accent, assent, its. There are many such words that we should be aware of. Now after we are sure of our current vocabulary, then it's the time to enhance it further. For this, I'm going to describe a technique which I've divided into 3 parts. If you have more than 3 months of time for your preparation, I would highly recommend that you buy this book called Word Power Made Easy. If you can spend just about 25 minutes of your time per day, you can easily finish off this book in about 2 months. This book can help you to skyrocket your vocabulary. Later, all you would need will be to use these newly acquired words in your essays. Suppose you have 1 to 3 months of time for your preparation, you should read various articles on the websites I mentioned in one of the previous videos. Find out new words from those articles, write them down in your OWOD notepad, and then finally use them in your essays. Simple. Suppose you have just 1 month of time for your preparation, then you should pay close attention to the words that you come across in the reading sections of your practice tests. Again, note them down in your OWOD notepad and then finally use them in your essays. An advantage of this technique is that the sample usage of this new word would be already right in front of you in the passage. Let me give you a pro tip over here. When learning a new word, please ensure that you also learn its correct pronunciation. This will really help you in your speaking section. Another wonderful technique of finding out new words is, after you have finished a practice essay, try to find out the words that you repeated. Now go online or go to any dictionary and then try to find out the synonyms of that particular word. Note those synonyms in your OWOD notepad. The next time when you are writing an essay on a similar topic, try to incorporate those new words. This will show the examiner that you know a variety of substitutes for a particular word. I can vouch for this technique because I had myself used it when I was preparing for my test. Sometimes we struggle with general opening sentences in a paragraph. If you have seen my previous video, you can see that we have mentioned some of the words that we can use to open a paragraph. If you haven't seen that video, you can go to that video, find out different ways using which we can open a new paragraph. Now let's discuss some general but extremely important tips. Tip number 1. Read sample band 9 essays on various topics. This will help you to find out words that are relevant to that particular context. Tip number 2. Extra bytes. Please make sure that you pay attention to the words and idioms that we use in our extra bytes. Via extra bytes, I try to enhance your vocabulary in a fun and playful manner. Tip number 3. Wordsinasentence.com. Suppose you get stuck in finding the right usage of a word, you can go to this website. It's an amazing website. You just give it a word and it returns a list of sentences using that particular word. But I would recommend that you always try to use the words in sentences by yourself first. Only then you can refer to this website for more examples. Tip number 4. Use the words as per their right connotation. Connotation means the intent or the feeling of a word. Let's look at an example. The words encourage and abet. To encourage someone means to give support to them. The word abet also means to encourage someone or to give support to someone, but usually in some wrongdoing. So abet and encourage both mean to support someone, but abet means to do it in some wrongdoing. Hence, both these words, though have a similar meaning, their connotation is extremely different. Tip number 5. Use collocations. For example, an avid reader, an inclement weather, a classic example. To learn these, I would suggest that you read different articles. These really help you to score extra marks. It's a big topic in itself. I'll try to make a separate video for this. Number 6 and the last tip. Always use formal language in your essays. I just cannot stress enough on this point. Please do not use casual language in your essays. Essays are meant to have formal language. Alright, now it's time for today's extra bytes. But wait, we've already seen that, isn't it? Today's extra bytes and your homework are the confusing words which we discussed a few minutes back. Please find out the right meanings of those words and use them in your sentences. If you like, you may also share your sentences in the comments. With this, we have reached the end of today's lesson. I hope you would have found this lesson useful. Please feel free to give any feedback or suggestions in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Till then, you guys stay tuned, stay awesome.